Hi folks, HR Funk here. It's always fun to produce a comparison video, especially when that comparison involves two similar items, one of which is a more budget-friendly option, the other is a more expensive but more premium option in terms of its features and construction. I always find it intriguing to see just how much, if any, greater performance we're going to see from the more premium item, and I think it's interesting to see how the more budget-friendly option is going to compare and how well or not well it's going to do in that head-to-head matchup. And that was exactly my conversation with Derek from Optics Planet several months ago. And during that conversation, he suggested that maybe I would want to try just such a comparison with a couple of AR-15 upper receivers that Optics Planet currently offers. And in this video, I'm going to be doing just that. So in a moment, I'm going to introduce you to the two upper receivers. I'll show you some of the testing that I've already carried out on the range. I'll talk about some of the performance I've seen, and I'll talk about some of the additional things I'm going to be doing with these two upper receivers as we move into the future. So here we go. And without further delay, here are the two upper receivers I'm going to be discussing in this video. As I mentioned a moment ago, these are both available from Optics Planet. Check out the info section of this video for my Optics Planet discount code that you can use for any purchase you make on their website. The upper that is closest to you is the Trybe Defense Complete Upper Receiver. It features a 16-inch chrome moly vanadium steel barrel. It's chambered for the 556mm cartridge. It has a 1 in 8-inch rifling twist and features 5R rifling, which I found interesting. It has an A2 flash hider. It also comes with a mil-spec bolt carrier group as well as a mil-spec charging handle, and I'll be pulling those out momentarily. The handguard is a free float style handguard. It features M-lock attachment points at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock point, and of course the top has a full 1913 rail. The BCG that's included with the Trybe Defense upper that you see here, although it is mil-spec in terms of its construction, does not have a mil-spec finish. It has a black nitride finish that seems very smooth and very slick. If you look closely, you can see that this indicates it is magnetic particle tested. It features very deep staking on the gas key that you can see there. That looks very secure. And all in all, seems to be a well-constructed bolt carrier group. And here is that mil-spec charging handle. It looks just like every other mil-spec charging handle you've ever seen in your life. I don't think you're going to be able to see it with the handguard on, but this upper does feature an A2 profile barrel. Both uppers come complete with a dust cover and also a forward bolt assist. The overall look and fit and finish of the Trybe Defense upper receiver is what I would call pretty utilitarian. There's nothing wrong with any of it, but there's nothing to really distinguish it either. I did notice, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it here, it looks like when someone was installing the flash hider, the wrench slipped a little bit. There's a gouge here and on the flat on the other side, if I can get it where you can see it right there. Nothing major, just a little bit of a cosmetic issue. It's not going to affect functioning at all. This sells on the Optics Planet website for sub $300, and it comes with everything that I have just shown you. For the more premium option of our two AR-15 uppers, we have one from Aero Precision, and both the light and the optic do not accompany it, but I had already had those mounted and I was not going to take them off. By the way, as a little bit of a preview, there will be a review for both this optic and this weapon light coming up in the very near future. The Aero Precision upper receiver also comes with an A2 flash hider. It comes with a dust cover and it comes with a forward bolt assist, but, and I think this is a pretty big distinction, it does not come with a bolt carrier group or a charging handle. So even though this costs considerably more than the Trybe Defense, you don't get those additional items. So keep that in mind if you're looking at ordering this. You are paying for the construction, the styling, and the overall manufacturer quality, as opposed to some additional items that you're not going to get that you would get with that lesser expensive upper receiver. I wanted to get you a closer look at this Aero Precision upper, and you can tell at a glance that it deviates considerably from the mil-spec in terms of its contours and its appearance. Obviously, it has a green anodizing for both the receiver itself as well as the handguard. This handguard is the Aero Precision Atlas, and for more information on that, take a look at the Aero Precision website. This features a different type of attachment than we typically see with this style of a handguard. Even so, for the handguard itself, it features M-LOK attachment points similar to the ones that we saw on the other upper receiver. It also has a full-length 1913 rail across the top. When it comes to dimensions, the handguard for the Aero Precision Atlas 1 is slightly smaller in diameter than the handguard for the Trybe Defense that I showed you a moment ago. It's subtle, but it is noticeable. The Aero Precision upper receiver also is rated as being lighter. When you look at the website, this is listed at 53.6 ounces, whereas the Trybe Defense is rated at 70.4 ounces. So at first glance, it appears that the Trybe Defense is considerably heavier by over a pound than the Atlas 1, but keep in mind the Trybe Defense upper receiver comes with that bolt carrier group and also the charging handle. When we add those, that's an additional 3/4 of a pound thereabouts. Now the Atlas 1, or excuse me, the Aero Precision is still lighter than the Trybe Defense, but not by nearly as much, by a few ounces. Also, something that you get with the Atlas 1 / Aero Precision upper receiver are a couple of QD sling attachment points that were not present on the Trybe Defense option. Once again, just as you saw with the Trybe Defense upper, you're not going to be able to see the barrel contour through this handguard, but this also has the same A2 barrel contour. If you're not familiar with that, all it means is it's a slightly smaller and lighter diameter between the receiver and the gas block than it is forward of the gas block, which is all the same diameter that you can see right there. This barrel, just like the Trybe Defense, is manufactured from chrome moly vanadium steel. This has a 1-in-7 rifling twist as opposed to the 1-in-8 in the Trybe Defense, so slightly faster rifling twist. This one also is chambered for the 5.56 NATO cartridge. Another quick distinction between the two can be seen right here with the marked rail slots in the Aero Precision upper receiver, and there are no such markings in the Trybe Defense. When it comes to fit, finish, and overall styling, the points definitely go to the Aero Precision. I hope you've been able to see this as I've been giving you these up-close looks at this upper receiver. Now there is a slight color deviation you can see here between the upper receiver itself and the handguard. It's not drastic, but it is noticeable. But in general terms, the appearance of the Aero Precision is pretty striking. For whatever appearance is worth, that award between these two is definitely going to go to the Aero Precision. So for my first performance test between these two uppers, I attached both to my KE Arms lower that was built for me by House of Pain Armament. By the way, for more information and a discount code from House of Pain, check out the info section of this video. This lower features a Midwest Industries 3-pound trigger. It has always worked very well, and I was not expecting any problems with it with either of these two uppers, and there were no problems with it. When I got to the range, I wanted to try an accuracy test first, and I took several different types of ammunition with me. I wanted to use a common type of ammunition, and in this case that was M193 spec ammunition with the 55 grain bullet. I also took 3 different types of match grade ammunition, and I was firing them at a distance of 100 yards. I mounted a scope to both rifles. I zeroed that scope. Now, I was not fine-tuning that scope for each different type of ammunition. So when we start looking at the targets, you're going to see that the groups are not necessarily properly, perfectly centered in the target, and I'm aware of that. So I'm looking at group size. I'm not looking at the group location on the target. Sometimes people have a problem with that. They're looking at which shots are going to be closest to the center of the target. If I have a tight group, all I have to do is make a sight correction and I can bring that group into the center of the target. But if I don't have a tight group, if I have shots that are striking all around the target, there's no way to really calculate a proper sight correction. So that's why I'm looking at group size, and I'm going to look at the performance of all the different types of ammunition that I took with me from both different uppers. I'm probably not going to show all the video footage that I took at the range because I think that's just going to be long and boring watching me shoot at group after group after group. I'll probably show some of them, but then we'll come back here and take a look at the targets. So let's head out to the range first and we'll see how they both did with the M193 ammunition. Then we'll come back and look at those targets. So M193 spec ammunition, I mentioned recently in a previous video that I've never found that to be tremendously accurate in anything that I've shot it in. Sometimes it does okay, sometimes it doesn't do well at all. Usually somewhere between 1.5 to about 3 minutes of angle is about what I see depending upon the rifle and how well it does or does not like that particular type of ammunition. Out of the Trybe Defense, I ended up with a group that is 1 7/8 inches center to center, and that works out to 1.8 minutes of angle. Make sure I got that right. Yes, 1.8 minutes of angle. And with the Aero Precision, I had a slightly larger group, which was 2.25 inches center to center, and that works out to 2.15 minutes of angle. Oh, and I'm shooting 3-shot groups. This is another thing people don't like sometimes. They want to see 5-shot groups or 10-shot groups or 20-shot groups or whatever. I will be happy to shoot however many shots you want to see in a group if you just send me the ammunition to do so. But I'm using 3-shot groups as a general idea, and both of these are running about 2 minutes of angle, give or take, with that M193 ammunition. So the Trybe Defense, actually, being the lesser expensive of the two uppers, did a little bit better with this ammo, but I think they're so close that it's really a tie at this point. Let's take a look now at the results with some of the match grade ammunition. I had some SIG 77 grain open tip match, and that's what I used for the next test, and here's how that went. With that SIG 77 grain match load, the Trybe Defense had a sub-minute of angle group for 3 shots center to center. They came in at 7/8 of an inch, which works out to 0.83 minutes of angle. And yes, I did round the minutes of angle, so a little over 0.8 minutes of angle for the Trybe Defense. The Aero Precision was 1 3/8. It was kind of a disappointing group with the Aero Precision on that one. And that works out to 1.3 minutes of angle, so not horrible, but not as well as I would have expected the Aero Precision to do. So for the second time in a row, the lesser expensive upper receiver is outshooting the more premium upper receiver. Let's see if that continues with the next type of ammunition that I tried. For this round, I used a 77 grain match load from House of Pain Munitions, and this was very, very close. With the Trybe Defense, I ended up with a 3-shot group that center to center measures 1 1/8 inches, which comes out to 1.1 minutes of angle. With the Aero Precision, I had a slightly smaller group. This one is right at 1 inch center to center, and that works out to 0.96 minutes of angle. So very, very close on those two. And with getting essentially minute of angle accuracy out of both of these, the accuracy competition is still very, very close. So last up is a type of ammunition that I don't know what they do when they manufacture this stuff, but it just seems to shoot well out of everything, and that is 77 grain Federal gold medal match ammunition. And it seems like I have never found a rifle that doesn't like that ammo. Now, some rifles will like it better than others. There might be some rifles out there that like something else a little bit better, but I've never found anything that shoots this stuff poorly. So let's see how it did. So in terms of group size, the Federal ammunition did not disappoint. The Trybe Defense upper came in with a nice 3-shot group that measures 0.75 inches, 3/4 of an inch, which comes out to 0.72 minutes of angle. And the Aero Precision turned in the best group of the day. Now, for some reason that I still have not figured out, there was a pretty big pretty big shift rather, in point of impact with this ammunition in that Aero Precision upper, but the group itself is 1/2 inch. So it's coming in sub half MOA. It actually computes to 0.48 MOA. So very good accuracy. And once again, all I would have to do is make a simple sight correction to bring that into the center of the target. So I'm going to do a little bit of computation because I did not figure this out yet to see which of the two upper receivers actually had the best average accuracy all throughout this test. So folks, to determine the winner of the accuracy competition, I averaged the minute of angle computations from each of the 4 different types of ammunition that I used. So I added up all those measurements and then I averaged them, and the Trybe Defense ended up with an average of 1.1125 minutes of angle for all 4 different types of ammunition that I tested. The Aero Precision has an average of 1.2225 minutes of angle for all 4 types of ammunition tested. So that shows the advantage for the Trybe Defense, but that is so close that I think what I'm going to do is mount a more powerful optic and try at least a portion of this again. I might not try all 4 different types of ammunition, but I'll try at least the Federal Gold Medal match, since that was the most accurate in both. And maybe I'll try one of the other types of match ammunition as well. But this is extremely close in terms of accuracy. And I'm pretty impressed by that Trybe Defense, our budget upper, performing as well as it has. There were no malfunctions of any kind with either of these 2 upper receivers. They both fed, extracted, fired, all that type of thing fine, no issues whatsoever. They always locked open when the chamber was empty, so no issues with that. I'm also going to do a little bit of testing moving forward where I try to heat these upper receivers up and see if that functioning continues to be perfect or if we start to run into some problems. Now, before I started to fire, I lubed both upper receivers, both bolt carrier groups, and I did get a BCG and a charging handle from Aero Precision to use in the Aero Precision upper. I did not lube them extremely. I gave them sort of a light lube, partly because I want to see if either one of them is going to start to fail as they start to get a little bit drier and drier after being fired. So I don't think I'm going to clean them before I do the next part of the test, which is going to be that test where I want to get them heated up and see if I'm going to start to have any functioning problems. But that is going to be something for a future video. So there you go, folks. That's my tale of 2 uppers to date. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, as always, make sure you forward those to me. And until next time, good shooting. Bye-bye for now.